Bruce Thornton has to play out of his mind Saturday for the Buckeyes to upset Virginia.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, Buckeye fans, to a bonus episode of Locked On Buckeyes, which is your daily Ohio State podcast, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now the number one sports podcast network. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, veteran sports talk host, delivering passionate coverage about your Buckeyes. And during this hardwood huddle, we will discuss the big opportunity right in front of the Buckeyes Saturday night in Nashville. But first, the Buckeyes rarely play non-conference games in February, and if they do, it's probably not at a neutral site, but this one is. The Buckeyes have a clash with a top 25 team in Nashville on Saturday as Virginia is coming over to play Ohio State. And it's a big moment. I was kind of excited when they announced this game being on the schedule. I didn't like the date that the game is being played, but this is a big moment for the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes just got a needed win over USC on Wednesday. They have an opportunity to capture a quad one win on Saturday. And to accomplish that goal, the Buckeyes must lean on their leader. And Bruce Thornton must be that guy. He must be the man on Saturday night for the Buckeyes to upset Virginia. And when I say the man, I'm not talking about Bruce Thornton scoring 50 points or scoring 40 points, getting 15 rebounds and 8 assists. I'm not going that far. I'm not asking him to go all out and do those types of things. It'd be great if he did, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for Bruce Thornton to be the leader, be the captain of the ship, control the pace, control the adjustments on the court, control everything. Literally be a control freak. Be that type of point guard that runs everything, but also knows how to get certain players involved, when to get them involved, the guys that need to get involved early, get them involved early, the guys that can wait a little bit, get them involved a little bit later. If someone needs a shot inside the paint before extending their range, make sure that happens. Bruce Thornton must be the true point guard that he is, while also being a combo guard at times. I think tomorrow's more about being the true point guard. They're going to need his points, but don't lean on the points so much that you forget that you are the leader of the team, not just on offense, even on defense. There are times this year, even of late, that the Buckeyes haven't opened about their communication on defense not being there, or just not being a thing that is even thought about at times on the court. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's almost a mark of a bad team. I don't think Ohio State is horrible. I think Ohio State is a team that has a lot of individual talent, but for some reason, sometimes the IQ of the players and their energy and effort on the court just isn't at the level that it needs to be. You can lean on Bruce Thornton right now. And if I'm Bruce Thornton, I am looking at this game against Virginia like it's a tournament game. Now, I know it's not one game a day off than another game, so I know that that's a benefit for you. However, if you look at this like a tournament game, you will see this as a moment where you can cement your mark as a player and help Ohio State advance the next day, because you're laying it all on the line, not letting any moment go by without realizing this could be the last. This is his last season wearing the scarlet and gray. I don't think he'll do what some college basketball players or college athletes have done, go to a judge, petition for an extra year. I don't see him doing that. I see him going off into the NBA, getting drafted, and I expect him to have a long professional career. That'd be great. That'd be great for him for that to happen. But once he realizes and looks at this game as a tournament game where I got to raise my level of play to a level that maybe it's never been at before to allow this team and to help my team get to a victory, when he does that, he makes it easier for Devin Royal, easier for Mobley Jr., easier for Puff Johnson and Chapman off the bench, easier for Christoph Tilly. Maybe he'll even help Tilly not get in foul trouble as much. He can help so many players with his leadership and with his mentality, and by him just being the point guard Jake Diebler needs him to be. That's really it. When he is the point guard Diebler needs him to be to win the game, everything else will fall where it needs to fall. I'm not even saying that I think the Buckeyes will win the game. I think that they can win. It's a tall task. It's very, very difficult, but it's possible because they have Bruce Thornton. If Bruce Thornton wasn't there and they had a different point guard and this team was on the verge of getting into the tournament, they're a bubble team right now, and that other player wasn't as the caliber of a Bruce Thornton, didn't have the ability to be the number 5 in all-time scoring in Ohio State history. Think about it. He's a point guard. That's number 5 all time in scoring in Ohio State history. Let that sink in for you. He is a guy that can get 10 assists, which I think that may be something he needs tomorrow. But also, he can put up 21 like he did against USC. He can do a lot of good things on the court. He is a kind of lead guard that can take you deep into the tournament. And if he views this game against Virginia like it's a tournament game, man, let me tell you, the Buckeyes have a shot to pull off a massive, massive upset. And there's one thing that happens tomorrow that can happen tomorrow that is a big opportunity for Ohio State when they play Virginia on Saturday. We will discuss that after the break. This episode is brought to you by Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Hiring isn't just about finding someone willing to take the job. It's about finding the right person with the right background who can actually help your business move forward. And if you want candidates who match what you're looking for, Indeed Sponsored Jobs is the move. Because instead of hoping the right person stumbles across your post, Indeed helps you match with quality candidates by boosting your job listing to the people who fit your specific criteria like skills, certifications, and location. If I were hiring, I wouldn't just want someone who can help. I'd want someone with real experience who can jump right in. That's what I like about Indeed. You can get specific and target exactly what you need. And with sponsored jobs, your posts get seen by candidates who are actually a fit. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, do it the right way with Indeed. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The winter games are officially here, and if you're anything like us, you're locking in for events you only get to see on the biggest stage every 4 years. And that's why following the winter games on FanDuel just makes sense. From medal counts to individual events to finding your angle on the sports you care about most, FanDuel gives you more ways to stay connected to the action. Speed skating races decided by inches, hockey games that feel different right from the opening face-off. Even niche events become must-watch when you're fully locked into the competition. The winter games are here, and there's no better way to follow them than with FanDuel. FanDuel, play your game. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Mazda. This is Mazda's moving the game forward. For those who show there's more to the score than what's on the screen. And this week's moving the game forward player is Bruce Thornton. He's now number 5 in all-time scoring in Ohio State basketball history. He has a shot to move up the ranks once again throughout the season. And he is a guy that's had a great Buckeye career. If there is a Block O jersey recipient in basketball, it's easily going to Bruce Thornton this year. He's been a guy that's durable. He's been a scorer. He's been a leader, a multi-year captain. I mean, there's so much I can say about this young man and what he means to the basketball program. These remind us of what it really takes to raise the bar. It's that extra work off the court, dialing in every detail, giving it that extra fire, that grit, and I never quit. We put that same passion into every model. Highlights make the reel. What it took to get there makes it count. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you. Ohio State's gearing up for a rare non-conference game Saturday in Nashville against Virginia. And this is a huge moment for Jake Diebler, for the team. But more importantly, this moment can help build momentum. It can help the team start to gain confidence down the final few games of the regular season so they can be a bubble team that becomes a lock to make the NCAA tournament. The Buckeyes don't have a quad one win all season. Now, I believe that there was a game early in the year that they won that could eventually become a quad one win, depending on how that team plays down the stretch. But you can't rely on that. You only can rely on what's right in front of you and your play on the court. No quad one wins. It's almost an easy way to say you're not getting into the big dance. But if you get this one, I believe Purdue's a quad one. What is a quad one team? I think Iowa is a quad one team. And it's possible Wisconsin is a quad one team. If that's the case, there are more quad one games and multiple quad one games after the Virginia game that are possible for the Buckeyes to secure. But you can't look that far yet. One of the biggest things I've said on this show multiple times, I'm going to keep saying it throughout the rest of the season, the boys cannot look at multiple games. Just look at one. Treat it like a football team. You look at one game all week gearing up for Oregon or USC or Virginia or Vatech or Miami, whatever the case may be. You're gearing up for one team. And while you're gearing up for that one team, that's your focus. That's where your energy is going towards. Just the one team. And when you're focused on one, you're able to stay focused and locked in easier than when you're focused on, oh, I got this going on, or I got that going on. Think about parents. Their parents right now listening or watching the show that have multiple kids. When you have multiple kids and you're a parent and they're both in sports in different ages, you got to go this way. You got to go that way. I got to go here. I got this appointment. I got that meeting. You kind of lose sight about what's going on and where you need to be. But when you focus on one thing, it's a massive benefit for your brain, for your family, for your kids, for everybody that knows you, because they know you're more focused on the right thing. And for Ohio State, focusing on Virginia is always the right thing. Then when you go to Iowa and Wisconsin comes in, focus on them. It's always that one team. Win or go home. It's a pickup game. You win, you stay. You lose, you're off the court, and you might not get back on the court before the street lights come on. One game. You focus on the one. With Bruce Thornton leading the troops, there's a good chance that the Buckeyes will make the necessary noise needed down the stretch to make the NCAA tournament. I say all that knowing, man, I got my doubts. I got my doubts about this team. I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible, but reality is I have a hard time believing they can play well enough down the stretch to stack the necessary wins to make the NCAA tournament. I got a hard time believing. I think they have 7 regular season games left. They need to go 5-2 in my book to even have a shot to be there. And I don't see them going 5-2 down the stretch. It's not because of the schedule. It's because this team is just not like they can beat Wisconsin. I don't know about Iowa. They can beat IU. They can beat Penn State. Do I think they're going to win all those games? No. Based off how they have played, based off some of the poor defense at times, the poor shooting, poor shot selection, there are a lot of things that have happened that have me on the more pessimistic side with this team than optimistic. And while I am more pessimistic, I realize there is still a chance for them to prove me wrong. Thank y'all for tapping into this bonus episode of Locked On Buckeyes and for making this show a part of your day. You can follow me on any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. This has been Locked On Buckeyes on a Feel Good Friday. We'll see you next time.